Alright. Okay, Enda, we had a really good session today. We've gone through sort of the two different family characteristics that people who sign up for a program, people who tend to not sign up for a program, and the different things that separate them. So, tell me about the last family you spoke to or close to get engaging with the program. Do you feel that they fall into these categories?
Well, let me think. Yes, the last family that engaged in our program, if we start thinking, and I'm just looking at the notes that you've created, and I'm just looking at just really from the top, if that's okay. We talked about socioeconomic grouping here in terms of, in the broader sense of resources, right?
Yeah.
Economic resources, but other resources.
Yes, not just financial wealth.
And I would definitely say that this family would have been in the high bracket.
So they have resources.
And it's interesting why I would say that. First of all, they were both earning professionals, which means that they would have been in they would be comfortable financially.
Yeah.
But what was really interesting is when I conducted the interview with them, their grandmother, or their grandmother, participated.
All right. Yeah.
So, and it was clear to me that there was a family network surrounding these two parents, which was enabling them to act on their child. And what that was actually enabling is that the parents could actually both be in full-time employment, and that they were assured that there was a very active grandmother concerned about their child that could act on the child's needs.
So not just minding the child, but actually supporting them and helping the child develop.
And believing. Believed in this child.
Yeah.
So
that's something, because we've always, and we spoke about this, that the families who engage with the program are very aware of the problem that their child has. They're very honest about it.
Yes.
They can see it and they're not ignoring it. Whereas people we feel don't engage with the program sort of talk about the problem a lot, but they don't really understand it and they're not interested in it.
They were very, very motivated, and what's kind of interesting about them is that the mom contacted me initially, and it was a very general inquiry.
Yeah.
I wrote back to her asking her for specifics. I got 3 pages. I mean, I got a lot of detail.
And we know that's a significant
A lot of detail.
Yeah.
And you know, she and when I say detail, she understood how the child was diagnosed. She understood what the diagnosis meant.
Yeah.
She understood what the child could specifically do, what the child could specifically not do.
So she's very engaged.
Very engaged, very high understanding. Whereas frequently in families that don't come on the program, they speak in generalities.
Yes,
They
yes.
speak.
So we've said that they are generally disengaged with their child or their condition.
Yeah. They're emotionally entangled in the crisis they're in.
Yeah.
But they haven't engaged in the crisis to the degree that they understand how to act on it.
Yeah.
This family was way out and above that.
They're definitely.
They're engaged. They were determined.
We felt that these people are people who do their own thing and they go their own way very often.
Yeah. What was interesting with this family is that they had got all the classical assessments done.
Mm-hmm.
So they had met their pediatrician. They had gone and spoke with their speech therapist. They had engaged an occupational therapist. They had engaged with their school. So they understood best practice.
Yeah.
But this child was 11 years old.
All right. So that's at the higher end.
Yeah.
You know,
in terms of what we would normally work with, it's usually 4, 5, 6 years. In this instance, it was an 11-year-old child. And what's interesting is that when a child reaches that age, very often in families, that they just get worn down to a degree that they cease acting.
Yes.
So this family was the opposite.
So they're constantly searching for solutions.
They were constantly searching, and they were very clear on the abilities of this child.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is that when they went through our website, they were able to understand what we were providing, and were very much of a mind that it could make a substantial difference in the outcome of their child. So they already had that. They were already of that view.
Yeah. And we've spoken a few times about the timeline for parents to get their diagnosis. As the kids get older and older, they become more desperate in a way because they know they're running out of time and they know they need to intervene very quickly.
Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting because, you know, really society and clinical medicine would be really saying to them, accept your child's disability.
Yeah.
And yet, here you had a mother, a father, a grandmother, who all were of a common mind that their child could succeed, but they were looking for this way.
Yeah.
And it's something that the exercise you just went through really shows here. Whereas families that, if you like, run out of steam, they tend to accept early that their child is not going to succeed. They tend to be very impacted by social norms.
Yeah.
Like this family didn't really care about other people's opinions. They only cared about their child.
These people are, like we said, we'd look to the future, the people that don't see barriers. They're very self-driven and motivated. Whereas, you know, on this side tend to find excuses for not acting, and they live in the now, they're not looking towards their child's future. That's what being the current problem. The other thing, because the solution's a technology solution, you know, people need a certain level of technical ability. We've surmised that people who do get on the program, they're quite savvy in terms of technology. Our analytics tells us that in terms of the browser they use, or whether it's Apple or PC, that these people are a little bit more technically aware and online aware than the people on this side. And we feel these people are, you know, have a basic understanding of technology, but maybe aren't interested. Let's talk about that again. That was quite.
So I would use the term as a family or customer who is taking control of their circumstance versus a family who are victims.
Yeah.
So when you wrote this down here, when you talked about the families that generally don't connect to us.
Yes. From our Q&A, we got a really good picture of them like that.
And really, what you've written down here is that they generally don't really have much detail on what's wrong with their child.
Yeah.
They might have some diagnoses, but they don't understand them.
Yeah.
So they speak in generalities. My child doesn't talk. My child is not able to go to school.
They don't use a medical non-verbal sort of expression or things like that.
Yeah, they're not. It's their terminology is missing, of course, but it's the insights of what those terms mean.
Yeah. So they might have the language, but not necessarily know what they're talking about.
So this family might be more inclined if the doctor says, well, your child is mentally retarded and will never succeed. This family, because of their, I suppose, inability to research, might tend to accept that.
Yeah.
Whereas the family we spoke about earlier, this family look at the specifics. They're at home, they see their child emptying the dishwasher. They see their child making their breakfast. They see their child getting dressed in the morning. And they're saying, I don't accept that my child is helpless. They're saying, specifically, my child doesn't have spoken language. My child maybe can't be literate in the future. So they're looking at the opportunities based on a really tight understanding.
Belief in their child.
Belief in their child, and that belief is drilling down into detail.
And these people are accepting of the situation, and they say, well, we've done our best.
We've done our best, and I hate to use the term, it's unfair, but they're more tea and sympathy. If I'm speaking with them, I'm sort of expressing to them that they've had a difficult road ahead, and sort of saying, look, I hope the best for you. But you know they're not going to take concrete action beyond what is really freely available in society.
So when we are looking at targeting our ad campaigns and building our website and trying to understand the families that really we can help, this is a great tool for us to picture that. So this is going to drive, these sort of characteristics and traits are going to drive everything we do now.
I think that there is a whole range of negative keywords. And actual keywords that we could either use directly or that we could derive from this exercise. I mean, we have, I feel, a really clear profile of the makeup behind the customer that contacts us. And I think it's important because this is a really complex project. Right now, families who have this problem they're not aware that we exist as a solution.
Yeah.
Like what we're really saying is that what a pediatrician cannot do for you, we can do through a computer.
Yeah, and it's hard for them to accept that because...
And to bring them, to get them across that bridge.
Yeah, you need people who are real, go-getters and advocates, and they're...
It's kind of the term that's often used, Apple talks about early adopters.
Yeah.
You might use that term, but these people would not, they would not be the classical early adopter profile because the decision-making is quite different.
Yeah.
But these people do set themselves aside.
But they have to adopt early because it's the only way of adopting.
And I believe is that when we engage this group, because they're millennials, because they're on Facebook, if we can isolate this group on social media and engage them fruitfully, this group will drive this group.
Yeah.
Because this group will set a new social context.
Yeah. We can make this solution the norm and prove it to more and more people. And the people who are conservative will say, well, that's the norm.
And when you think about it, and again, I hate to say this in a way, but it's true, is that right now, if you have a special needs child and if you take no significant action, nobody in society will blame you.
Yeah.
Because they'll say that you've been unfortunate.
Yes.
But if we could change that paradigm through these early adopters, then these families would see it as being the norm to act and would act out of social pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the normal shift.
Yes, and that's
the goal.
I think that this project, there are three pillars that it stands on. One is that our technology must work.
Yes.
And we have 55,000 data points. We've got our sons that are developing it. Children that were once diagnosed as profoundly autistic. They are now providing the solution for these children. So we need to be technically excellent. We need to be able to support the early adopters, and we need to find them right now. And we need to do an excellent job on that. And we need to deal with the social and political aspects of this problem. We need to be able to come out in a viral and social way and say this solution exists. These children do not need to be institutionalized.
But these preconceived ideas that these kids will be able to tell that there's nothing we can do for them is not the case.
Absolutely.
There's lots we can do for them, and we are proof of it.
And as you say, you take these two 21-year-olds. I mean, 20 years ago, they would have been institutionalized.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to take what you've done, and they're going to code it onto our site.
Yeah.
You did well.
Thanks, Enda.
Super. Come on, let's have a look at it.